To some, Ainsley Earhardt is a source of inspiration, a role model they truly respect. To others, she is one of those who use their platform to support the wrong things. This divide has existed since she attained national fame as a co-host on Fox News Channel's Fox and Friends. And with millions of people tuning into her morning show, she has become a celebrity of sorts. And like most celebrities, Ainsley has been tossed to and fro by life's storm. From heartbreaking betrayals from the hands that had promised to love her forever, to deep personal losses that left her empty and lost, she has braved it all to remain relevant even now. Join us as we take a look at the heartbreaking story of Ainsley Earhardt, who still gets praised by most for her strength in the face of adversity. Some say she is one of the most contentious celebrities in present times. Others agree but don't see the positive side of it. But before Ainsley became a person of interest to millions, she was just a young child from Spartanburg, South Carolina, born to hardworking parents, Dale and Wayne Earhardt. During her childhood, her family moved around a lot. They stayed at the Foxcroft area of Charlotte, North Carolina, and she was still in elementary school when they moved to Columbia, South Carolina. As a teenager, Ainsley wanted to be an actress. She participated in theater and never missed the Academy and Grammy Awards shows. It took her parents to convince her not to pursue a career in acting. She also took advice from her part-time employer, Columbia orthodontist Richard Boyd. He suggested she consider following his path. As an orthodontist, he told her she would work with wonderful families and be able to visit New York, which was already her dream city, any weekend she wanted. While her family was still living in South Carolina, Ainsley attended Spring Valley High School, and she reportedly displayed high academic dedication. She was also highly involved in extracurricular activities like tennis, softball, and cheerleading. Clearly, Ainsley wasn't shy about working hard, and you can understand why when you know that her father was working 3 jobs to provide for his family and make sure his children weren't missing out on the experiences their peers enjoyed. Dale and Wayne also made sure Ainsley and her siblings got a full education and took church seriously. At the breakfast table, they studied inspirational notes, poems, and scriptures. Dale, who taught early childhood development in Richland District 2, left home at 7 in the morning. So, Wayne got the children ready for school. Before he resumed work as the basketball coach at Wofford College, then at Dorman and at Orangeburg Wilkinson High Schools. He then took a sales job and started his own company in order to pay for their children's college educations. Ainsley, after high school, attended Florida State University. In Florida, she majored in biology at Florida State. She loved her sorority and student life, but not her coursework. Then one day she turned on the TV and saw Irmo native Lisa Gibbons talk about how her years at USC prepared her for a career in television. Ainsley took steps to come home and transferred to the University of South Carolina, where she graduated with a BA in journalism. After graduating, she dreamed of working in New York City and becoming a television journalist. However, one of her mentors advised her to take her time and build a strong foundation first. She took this to heart and decided to take up a reporting role at a local CBS affiliate in Columbia. During this time, she served as a morning news anchor and began making genuine connections with viewers. She distinguished herself and soon got a local town magazine award for Best On-Air Personality during the early years of her career. These awards, though duly appreciated, weren't her primary goal as a journalist. And Ainsley demonstrated that when she traveled to New York City to cover a story about South Carolina middle school students who were raising money for firefighters after the September 11th attacks. The students had helped raise nearly $500,000 for a new fire truck to replace one that had been lost at the World Trade Center site, and Ainsley felt this incredible thoughtfulness had to be brought to people's notice. Later, Ainsley joined a news operation in San Antonio, Texas, where she anchored a weekday morning newscast. Being who she is, she engaged in other activities completely unrelated to her career, just like she had always done in high school. These personal activities included a half marathon in Austin, Texas, which she completed. She flew in an F-16 jet with the United States Air Force Thunderbirds and went skydiving with the United States Army Golden Knights. Clearly, Ainsley is someone who loves to push herself out of her comfort zone. This trait would eventually push her career forward. A year and 6 months after arriving in San Antonio, Ainsley received a career-launching call from Fox News. They had become impressed with all the foundational work she had been doing to build her career. Fox News invited her to audition in New York City. However, this audition wasn't some ordinary one. Ainsley would find herself facing an icon. Roger Ailes, at the time, was the founder of Fox News, and everyone understood that he was a powerful figure in the industry. To be seated before a legend would have unnerved anyone, not Ainsley. Roger was quick to pick up on that, and he knew talent, discipline, and authenticity too, which is not surprising, seeing how he had built an empire. He immediately recognized Ainsley's brilliant journalistic mind, and he wasted no time in offering her a position in his network, an offer she accepted, and soon enough, she was moving to New York City. Despite the fact that Ainsley was leaving Texas, she took with her everything that made her authentic. This authenticity hooked viewers across the country, especially those from the South and the Midwest. People who were from the other parts of the country respected the fact that she wasn't the type to forget who she was to move her career forward. For one, Ainsley kept her Christian faith and conservative values, and this played a big part in her on-air conduct. She simply refused to separate her beliefs from her professional life. Her interviews with pastors and faith leaders further demonstrate her belief that religion has a meaningful place in public conversation. This was a fresh breath of air for many fans, as they understood that other celebrities and media personalities had avoided talking about anything religious. Ainsley was wiser with her approach in that she didn't force her beliefs on others, and she only allowed what she believed to guide her actions and words. This approach allowed people to be more receptive toward her, even if they weren't of the same faith. Soon enough, she appeared on Hannity with her own segment called Ainsley Across America, and went on to co-host Fox and Friends Weekend, All-American New Year's Eve, and America's News Headquarters. She also appeared as a panelist on The Live Desk and Greg Gutfeld's Red Eye. However, it was in 2016 when she joined Fox and Friends that Ainsley attained the peak of her dream. She later stated, "I can finally breathe." She added, "I'm in the job I always wanted, and I worked so hard to get here. I worked across the country, weekends, late night, overnight. I would come in right after 8 p.m. and stay all night, anchor the morning show, and stay and do the headlines. I worked crazy hours and loved every single minute of it, and I'm grateful. I'm finally in the job I love." This confession showed a woman whose dream had finally been realized. And even though she had achieved her goal, Ainsley worked hard to build chemistry with co-hosts Brian Kilmeade and Steve Doocy, who were experienced veterans. Ainsley adds to the group her ability to connect with guests on a personal level, even in the face of a tense political discourse. Her strong support for Christian values has made her a voice for people who feel their beliefs are under attack. She has openly expressed frustration when she believes mainstream media shows bias against traditional values. Her honesty had helped her connect with viewers was doing the same thing even now. As a co-host of Fox and Friends, she helped improve the tone and direction of the program. With her faith-informed and values-driven point of view, she has been able to gather followers who enjoy the show's mix of news, commentary, and lifestyle content. This has made Ainsley a huge part of the next work she once dreamed of. President Donald Trump, a vocal supporter of the show, reportedly tweeted about Fox and Friends more than 100 times during his first 8 months in office, which you wouldn't find questionable, given Ainsley's vocal support for the president, even when it has been controversial. Her association with conservative politics placed her at the center of intense national debates, where she took it upon herself to defend the administration's policies and decisions. Ainsley consistently reinforced her reputation as a loyal and outspoken conservative voice by standing firmly by her political views, including support for disputed foreign policy actions and leadership decisions within federal law enforcement. While this stance earned her praise from supporters who share the same values, it also attracted criticism from those who don't. Some have questioned her decision to bring faith into her professional work, saying it wasn't born out of sincerity. A number of people have argued that her religious beliefs are used for personal branding or political protection, and with social media, the perception of the public can be easily measured. So it is obvious to the neutral observer how polarized that perception is when the question of whether Ainsley Earhardt is loved or not is asked. Even with the challenges of her career, Ainsley has had to deal with personal struggles too, mostly in her romantic relationships. Her first marriage was to Kevin McKinney, a fellow University of South Carolina alumnus. The marriage lasted several years before ending in divorce. Ainsley later explained that the breakdown came from communication problems, different values, and growing emotional distance, a situation familiar to many couples navigating modern relationships. The divorce was especially painful for her, leaving her to struggle with grief, loss, self-doubt, and guilt. At the same time, she faced intense media attention, which made the healing process even more difficult. During this period, Ainsley turned to her faith for comfort and guidance, relying on prayer and spiritual reflection to help her regain some sanity. Later, she entered a new relationship with Will Proctor, a former Clemson University quarterback. While many details of their relationship remained private, it eventually ended, leaving Ainsley once again facing heartbreak, loss, and the challenge of moving forward under public scrutiny. Ainsley and her husband, Will Proctor, were united by their Christian upbringing and strong commitment to their faith. Their wedding on October 13, 2012, at the All Saints Episcopal Church in Winter Park, Florida, was a celebration of their shared beliefs, promising a future built on love and devotion. 2 years into the marriage, after years of trying to conceive, Ainsley and Will were overjoyed to announce the pregnancy. But their happiness was short-lived. A routine prenatal appointment revealed the devastating news of a miscarriage. This loss came at a time when the couple was already facing challenges in their marriage. This tragedy left Ainsley lost, drowning in grief and anxiety about the future. Her entire person was so happy about motherhood that she couldn't deal with the denial she had suffered. She struggled with feelings of insecurity and self-blame, questioning her ability to carry a child to term and fearing that she might never experience the joy of motherhood. While she would later have another child with Will, the loss of their first child left a lasting scar on her heart. However, the couple's love story took a joyful turn when they welcomed their daughter, Aiden Jo Proctor, on November 5, 2015. This happy event seemed to promise a bright future, filled with the joys of family and the hope of years to come. However, in a tragic twist of fate, news surfaced about Will's alleged infidelity, shattering their seemingly perfect world and leaving Ainsley reeling from betrayal. While the affair reportedly happened years before she discovered it, the revelation left her heartbroken, struggling to reconcile the man she loved with the man she now knew. The weight of this truth created a rift that felt impossible to bridge. In October 2018, after 6 years of marriage, Ainsley announced their separation. The following day, Will filed for divorce in New York, marking the official end of a union that had once been a beacon of hope and shared dreams. Will denied the allegations, claiming they were untrue, but a source close to the couple confirmed the infidelity, stating they had evidence. The source also alleged that Will had been unfaithful with one of Ainsley's closest friends, adding yet another layer of heartbreak to the situation. This betrayal not only shattered Ainsley's trust in her husband, but also deeply wounded her sense of friendship and loyalty. The pain of infidelity was made even worse by a deeper tragedy. Adding to Ainsley's heartbreaking story was the passing of her mother, Dale Elise Giles Earhardt, in 2022. Dale, a woman of strong faith, had battled health issues for several years, including diabetes, a stroke, and gallbladder problems. After she died, Ainsley found comfort in the belief that her mother was at peace and in the presence of Jesus. She dedicated herself to work to deal with the grief. She also focused on raising her child, and for a period chose to remain single, focusing on her healing and finding strength within herself. However, soon enough, rumors began to surface about a mysterious man. According to Vanity Fair, in August 2019, Ainsley began a relationship with fellow Fox News personality Sean Hannity after the two arrived together as guests for a wedding at Trump National Golf Course in Bedminster, New Jersey. Vanity Fair asserts that during the COVID-19 pandemic, she had been hosting her Fox and Friends program from a remote studio in the basement of Hannity's Long Island mansion. At the time, she denied any relationship. Later, it was announced that she and Hannity got engaged on Christmas Day 2024 at their church in Florida. Many wished them a great marriage and praised their effort to keep things professional. Ainsley's influence reaches far beyond her role as a television host. As an author, she used writing as another medium to share her values and personal experiences. One of her books is a personal memoir that explores her faith journey, the lessons she learned through heartbreak and disappointment, and how belief helped her rebuild her life during difficult seasons. Her second book, written for children, focuses on themes of love, kindness, encouragement, and hope. Ainsley aims to build a positive moral foundation for children. The book attempts a gentle approach to character building, teaching kids the importance of compassion and emotional support. While both books became widely popular, they also received critical reviews. Still, they both got places on the New York Times bestseller list. Meanwhile, Ainsley Earhardt's professional life continued to flourish as a powerful voice in the industry. She has become a respected figure at Fox News. Ainsley's career accomplishments speak for themselves. She has received numerous awards and honors, including a Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Morning Program and an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters from the University of South Carolina. Beyond her professional achievements, Ainsley is known for her philanthropic work. She actively supports local organizations and causes, believing in giving back to the communities that have supported her. Her dedication to women's empowerment and her passion for raising awareness about important social issues further highlight her commitment to making a positive impact. When asked what she is most proud of, two of her many responses are being an American and the American dream. She has achieved much of the latter. She lives in the Upper East Side of her dream city, in walking distance of Central Park, and works at Fox News on the flag-lined Avenue of the Americas. Ainsley often tells students who want to be like her and have her career to be patient. She adds that she is in her 40s, and it took her about half of her life to get where she is. Her mantra remains, always say yes, be willing to volunteer. If you have a positive attitude, treat people as equals, and don't burn any bridges, you'll make it. Ainsley's story serves as an inspiration to many. She has had her share of tragedy and heartbreak, but still she chose to heal and thrive. This is a lesson for everyone to learn, even when they don't agree with some of her opinions.